Hey everyone, Creepy here, and I'm back from my little trip. If you didn't know I was on one, you should join the Discord server so you know updates of the videos I make. And today we're going to be covering Film Theory's newest video of The Amazing Digital Circus, because that show recently ending caused me to think more about the show. I saw a bunch of videos. I didn't like a lot of them. At first I wanted to cover Sarcastic Chorus's video on Jax being trans, but they took it down, which means they probably disagreed with some of the points of the video that maybe I disagreed with them. So I guess that's nice. Can't really cover the video because apparently they don't like it anymore because it's taken down, so why don't we cover the Film Theory video? There's one main point I want to talk about within that video, so why don't we just get into it?
Is out in the void and how he interacts with the outside world. Yeah, the way this scene was handled was interesting. It cuts between Kane and a humanoid red dot that represents Kane, both making identical movements and animations and both reaching out for something. From the Kane character's point of view, it's a door representing a Wi-Fi network, but from the red dot's point of view, it's a folder full of the brain scans of some members of the cast. When we see the red dot open this folder of the brain scans, again making identical motions to Kane approaching the Wi-Fi door, we see him find the brain scan of a man named Mike Dobby. We then see the red dot create a digital circus and shove Mike Dobby's brain inside of it. We then cut to the stage of the digital circus and Scratch appears out of thin air. So, hold up, wait, what? I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is incredibly unclear. Like, when I was watching this for the first time in theaters, I straight up thought that he'd revived Scratch and that versions of the old cast were gonna be coming back. You know, maybe they'd have their minds wiped, but we were gonna see them again. In fact, I was at this screening with host of Game Theory, Tom, and he'd gotten up to use the bathroom at this point. And when he got back, I told him that the characters were gonna come back because I thought that's what happened. But then, none of them showed up at the circus at the end. In fact, we get to see how their abstractive selves have found an equilibrium with the rest of the cast, either hanging out in a dark circus tent or in an aquarium-type enclosure that the non-abstracted cast can visit. So, It's strange. So, like, was this thing that we saw like a different circus? A new circus? I mean, Kane did ask, quote unquote, did I ruin this again? Keyword, again. And on top of all of this, we see the creation of what we think is the digital circus at the beginning of episode 8, with the red dot making it after it absorbs the blue dot. It would be really weird to show that same event in a completely different way in a completely different context, wouldn't it? So that makes me think, yeah, this is a different circus we're seeing made right here.
The main problem I have with this is it just comes from a misunderstanding of what the scene was. They just misunderstand that the scene is supposed to be intercut with a flashback to when he copied the mind files of brain scans to create the digital circus characters. It's not supposed to be him creating a new circus, it's just him flashing back to when he created the circus and paralleling that to when he interacted with the internet to gain information about the real people that the circus members are based off of, because of course they are brain scans, they aren't real people, so it's impossible for them to leave, and that kind of sucks for them, but there's literally nothing they could do. They were never real. The real people out in the real world, so that's good for them, I guess. But I just don't like it when videos are made on simply misunderstanding a scene. Like, you could have rewatched it to get a better understanding. It's similar to how Sarcastic Chorus said that the song Isn't She Lovely is supposed to be about Pomni when it clearly is about Jax. It's just based on misunderstanding the scenes. Probably could have done another rewatch of that single scene just to understand it better, but instead they just rush out videos, which is what I'm supposed to do, not you. So don't rush out videos and don't misunderstand scenes within media. Instead, get it right. Creeper out.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.